unbox everything. Elena, Jill, these are my lesson plan. This is the plug-in I need to charge it. That's what it came with. Doesn't match, so that I have things for them because they didn't get sent over. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Elena. I am a 10th year educator. I spent 6 years in the gen ed setting, and this is going to be my 4th year teaching special education. And today we are going to go into my ESY classroom and set up for ESY this summer. Today is Tuesday, July 2nd. Ooh, it is fogging up my glasses in here. It is very rainy out today, but the sun is starting to come out, but you can see like all the spots on my windshield. The humidity is coming back though, and I'm gonna need to turn my car on so I can get some air conditioning quickly here. Like I said, we're going into my ESY classroom and setting up for that. I will be teaching ESY July through August 1st, July 8th through August 1st, so it's July 2nd. We start on Monday. I've got a day less than a week to get this set up, but it shouldn't take long. So ESY is in a different school than where I teach at in my district. So I have to set up in somebody else's classroom, and I just packed all my stuff up at the beginning of the year that I knew I wanted for ESY and labeled it and had the grounds people move it and mail people move it over for me. I am 30 weeks pregnant. I haven't mentioned that in this vlog. If you've watched, you know, but anyways, I was not about to be the one to send all that over and bring it over to the other school. So fingers crossed. I haven't checked, but I'm assuming it made it over, and the other things that the teachers from other schools that I'm working with their students have sent to me will be there as well. So I know I'll have my stuff to go through and set it up, and all the other student stuff. I've got 8 kids on my roster for ESY. Half of them go to my school. 3 of them were actually from my own roster, and then 1 other from another teacher's roster, and then 4 brand new kids to me. So there is going to be a lot of stuff that I need to go through, set up, figure it out. Hopefully I can get some good content. And like I said, I'm going to be in another teacher's classroom, and I don't really know if they're comfortable with how much I film in there, but I am going to get some clips of this and show you how I'm setting it up. If you are unfamiliar with special education and ESY stands for Extended School Year. It's not the same as summer school, although it is comparable to summer school, but students qualify for ESY on their IEP. Only students with IEPs are at ESY, and just because you have an IEP doesn't mean you qualify for ESY. You qualify, in short, basically, I mean, there's a couple different ways, but the most basic and common way is that you regressed a lot over school breaks. So like over the summer, winter break, spring break, if there is a large or significant regression in your data, then you qualify for ESY. There's some other extenuating circumstances that you can also qualify for, but basic one is we're looking for, is there that regression there when we have school breaks? We're not looking to make like huge gains, although that would be welcome and great, but the point of ESY is just to prevent that regression from happening after significant breaks. Now, school's already been out for a month, so that's already a significant break. So when I come back, I'm already expecting there to have been a regression before I get them. But the hope is that giving them a month of services prior to coming back to school in the fall will help kind of close that gap and keep us up to where we were at least ending the last school year, so we can hit the ground running when we come back in the fall. So that's the point of ESY. You also do not qualify for everything on your IEP. So if a student has math, behavior, reading, writing all on their IEP, but math is the only area where they really see regression over the break, then they only qualify for math services at ESY, and I will not be doing all of their goals. So every student is there with different goals, and the schedule is kind of wonky, and I'll go through all that with you because I've only got kids there in 1-hour chunks, but it overlaps with different students and their goals. And so yeah, we'll talk through all of that and how I set that schedule up and how we're going to do that. But today it's going to be the classroom setup. So let's get going. I need to turn the air conditioning on in my vehicle. Okay, before I set anything up, I'm just gonna walk us through what we have here. Love that the Vowel Valley is already up here. This is going to be my teacher table that I will move to be under the smartboard because that's where I put all my slides up. I will not touch any of this teacher's things. They've already got it all saran wrapped here, which is actually really smart. But I am impressed with how clean this is and how easy this is going to be to set up with. So we're a Leader in Me school, so I can see the Leader in Me posters up there. The cubicles are awesome. I use that in my classroom all of the time. So yeah, I'll just be able to set up some different workspaces and tables for the associate in here to work with the other students while I'm working with them at my spot. I really don't anticipate using this side of the room though, because there's gonna be at max 3 students in here at once with me. So I'll have 1 or 2 of them over here at the teacher table while my associate works here. I think there's only 1 hour where there's 3 of them at once. Otherwise it's 2 kids at once. So I will have 1 and she will have 1. I've got this table now set up, even though I know it's not in the camera frame. But next, I think I just need to unbox everything that I have and yeah, talk you through what it is so I know where to set it up. I see this stuff that I sent to myself and that the other teacher from my building I know sent to me, but I do not see anything else from any of the other teachers or students, and it said in their plans that they would be sending stuff over. So yeah, that's interesting. Because I want to make sure that I'm running their BIPs the way that they've been running them, and that's hard to do if you don't have, thinking mainly like their reinforcement systems and their highly preferred items, that's going to be challenging for us if I don't have those for them from the school year. But let's start unboxing. It's been a month since I packed this stuff up and sent it over. I know a good 2 of the boxes that are over there, maybe 3 of them, are all food, because that's a huge reinforcement for a couple of the friends that I'm working with. So okay, let's just start unboxing and see what there is. Found 1 box of food, which is concerning to me because I really thought that there was more than that, but I guess I'll show you anyways. A lot of cereal, Scooby snacks, we got some M&M's and Skittles, Tootsie Rolls, Nutri-Grain. These are all literally left over from my classroom, but yeah, so they're at minimum a month old, but I had them in my classroom longer than that, so they're older than that, but whatever. Kids will eat them. I'll show you how I have these organized. Probably set them up behind there, maybe on this cabinet. But up here, this is also part of UFly. This is labeled from the school year, but I put the UFly in / some Fundations things. This actually comes from Fundations, and so does this. But this is UFly, my UFly manual, and whiteboards. So it's for me. Math things, I've got it split into the time blocks. So these I find helpful for math. I like them better than dry erase boards actually, because you can clear it. If you're not using these, you should be, but you know, make whatever mark, and it's not messy at all, and they're smaller than whiteboards. But I organized this already by time, so from 8 to 9, let's pull it out. 8 to 9, 10 to 11, All right, those are only 2 math goals I have, I guess, or those 2 hours, but I printed off the work for from our math curriculum that matched the goals those students are working on for that time. Decodables and phonics for reading in here. This did not stay very well, obviously. So one of my students is on phonics for reading, so there's the phonics for reading books. And then this is just great. I'm probably gonna have the associate in my room go through these phonological awareness activities with them as part of her time with them. But I printed out decodable text and the quick phonics screener that I'm gonna do day 1 with all of the kids with phonics goals. Tap it, map it, zap it. I have one particular student who uses that, even though his bucket of stuff is over here, and his teacher sent that too, but it doesn't hurt to have my own set for it. And then all progress monitoring materials and the crafts, because I set up some thematic units for some of my students. We're gonna do this day 1, all about me, but I set up a week of, let's just pull this out. Transportation. Oh, all the crafts are together. All the transportation, family, fall, and animals. And you're gonna have to ignore the student you see behind it. So yeah, that's that. I better put these back. So that's kind of the stuff that I'm going to be using hourly, and I'm going to set it behind me just like this teacher, I mean, really has it set up the same way. She's got her groups labeled there in her carts. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this for binders. So my fast probes. So that's going to go on there. I've got one student's math probes. Haggerty, if you know, you know. This is the kindergarten. This is the primary. So these will be getting set up like that in there. Choices, think sheets. I got a lot of clipboards as well. And then this is how I set it up for my associate and I. Elena, Jill. These are my lesson plans. Well, the lesson plan for the first week is here, but it's really, really small. I've got it split it up by hours, and then the students that are there, their grade level, and then within the hour here, then I've got it split up into 15-minute blocks of what I'm doing with them and who I've got and what my associate is doing with them and what she's got. So yeah, but this is really small, and so I guess we'll see after day 1 if I want to reprint this. I was just trying to get it all on one page, but we'll see if I want to reprint it or not. I've got their ESY plan, behavior progress monitoring in here. The associate is mainly going to be in charge of doing the behavior progress monitoring while I'm teaching. I guess we'll have to switch each, you know, every 15 minutes. So whoever I've got, I'm going to need to take over the clipboard and the reinforcement system. But I've got the master copy in here, their behavior intervention plan, an IEP. So I've got that for each student. Master, okay, so that student only has behavior goals. But this student, here's their math progress monitoring. So I guess the difference between what's in here and what's in these over here that I showed you is in here I have the rubrics that we're going to be using to fill out the progress monitoring, and there I've got the folders that I'm going to use to store it once it's done before I put it into Achieve or after I put it into Achieve. That's kind of my system at school, is that I've got like the daily progress monitoring sheets that my students have for their behavior progress monitoring all go in a tray at the end of the day that the associates put it into. And then any of the academic stuff, sometimes I put it in right away, but if I haven't put it in yet, then I put it in that tray because I just know that's like a to-do pile of stuff that needs to get entered into Achieve. And then after I put it into Achieve, then I put it in my filing system. But I don't have my own filing cabinets here, so I had to bring the file folders in here. So this is like the, once it's been entered into Achieve, then it can go in here. Yeah, but just in my classroom during the school year, I have one of these binders for each of my students. But for ESY, because I only have the kids for an hour each, I just made one big one for me with all of them in it, and one big one for my associate with all of them in it. I'm not positive. I mean, that works really well. I like that system, but this next school year, I'm going to have the associates do a lot more switching with each other and working with all of the students on my roster. Not like every single day, but there's gonna be more of a rotation and more sharing and splitting going on. So I guess I'll see how this goes for us this summer, if it's better for every associate to just have their own binder with everybody's stuff in it, or if I do want to keep it just for each kid. I don't know. I guess we'll see how this goes and if that's manageable or not to keep everybody's info in one spot. My associate's binder basically looks the same. It just has all the kids' IEP, BIP, progress monitoring info that they're gonna need. Let's look at this bucket. I brought plenty of these clear sleeves. If you know, you know. They're good for hanging things up. They're good for doing students' work in it. This is one of the highly preferred items for reinforcement for one of my students. This is the bucket that I put together for my associate. So I have it, all of these you can see in clear file. I have names on this, so I'm gonna be careful about what I show you, but I've got it labeled with her name on here. And then basically like every 15 minutes, like at 8:30, this is what she's doing with this student. 8:45, this is what she's doing with this student. 8:45 with this student. You know, just goes by time in here. So like every 15 minutes, basically, it's got something different. This one's gonna be used 3 different times. So same thing with this. You can see I've got her doing roll and reads. If you're familiar with UFly at all, then you've done roll and reads before. Here, it shows you on the back what a roll and read is. So it's just fun. You can make games out of it. You can make it like bingo or a tic-tac-toe or, you know, just whatever you have time for. But they're great just game ways to practice and reinforce the skills that we're working on. Yeah, more. Here's a math, another math game, more math games. 7:30 book and craft that she'll be doing with the student. So yeah, that's my plan, is then, as you know, this is, okay, so for the crafts that I showed you, this is all the transportation. Is it all the transportation crafts? No, these are like 2 or 3, depending on what fit in here, transportation crafts, just to see what they get through. So like transportation is the theme for the first week, and I've got a box over there of the books that we're gonna read first. So they're gonna read the book together, they're gonna do the craft that goes together with it, we'll do some writing that goes together with it and matches it as a thematic unit, but if they have time for it, and then I'll just refill these as needed. But this is gonna have to go over by her area. In here, I've got a reward bucket and a reinforcement system for one of my friends, and one of his core boards. He has come a long ways with his communication, so I don't have that as much, but I do need to, for his visual schedule, put that together. Here's all the pieces that go on it. I just need to use one of these clipboards that I showed you back here to put that all together. Okay, so that's just progress. Those we've gone through here. Visual timer, needed, so needed. I maybe should have packed a second one so that I've got one. This is magnetic, which is so helpful. So I will set it up behind me, and then I maybe need to go back to my actual classroom and get a second one of these so that my associate has one next to her. I brought Kleenexes because I do see a box over there, but you just never know. Specials teachers and special ed teachers, anybody who teaches like math, your pull-up teachers, resource, PE, music, art, like we don't get these. We don't have a classroom supply list. So if you're watching this and you're not a special education teacher, consider if you've got extra. I know some of you also in the gen ed setting do not have, I mean, in the gen ed setting, I was always running out of these too, but I know I've seen some other teachers' vlogs where they have like these oozing out of their ears. So please, if that's you, consider donating them to your specials teachers because we don't have those. Okay, this is another reward reinforcement system. This is the, and her core board that goes with this student, along with the pieces that she needs. So that, yeah, is one of the students that I work with. Here's part of her reinforcement system as well, with more communication and her common pieces in here. So hand sanitizer, because you just never know. Honestly, everything in here, I maybe just need to leave all of her stuff in this bucket because she just has so much of it. Okay, I packed these reinforcement. See, I was smart. I packed a set of these for myself. Does not like what is presented to him. We got more like UFly, CBC, and sight words in here. If he doesn't like what's presented to him, he can ask for something different and get something out of this bucket. So more preferred, but it's still work. So those are his things. This says something different on it, but is this a specific student? Oh yeah, this is for my friend over here. These are all her something different options as well. Okay, so yeah, two of my students, and then they are very food insecure as well. So that's where most of this food reinforcement comes from. I basically had an entire tote for each one of them and then one with food as well. Let me show you the books that I have for the thematic units, and then I truly don't know, I haven't looked through, and I'm not going to pain you through that, of what is all in this other student's bucket. Again, he came from my school, so his teacher did kind of go through it with me, but there's more in there than what he showed me. But I don't see anything for any of the other kids, so I guess it's a good thing that I already made plans and printed stuff out for myself to use with them, because there's nothing here for me from anyone else. Okay, let's actually start putting this stuff away.
Start of the night and I'm waiting to call you. It's knocking on doors in the dark, I've been walking hours. Been laid up on the news, now you're lying. The look up on your face, now you smile. It's the start of the night and I'm waiting to call you. It's knocking on doors in the dark, I've been walking hours. Been laid up on the...
Okay, let's walk you through what I have here. These are the boxes I still need to show you and go through. This, I'll turn the camera around on myself. I am so out of breath all the time. Being pregnant, it just does that to you, I guess. I had these on top of this to start, but then that gave me no access to the whiteboard, and I love to have the timer there. So I moved it and put it down here, and it also just helps keep my stuff more separate from the teacher. that's here. I might move her stuff from here over to this corner, and then it's just, we don't use anything over there, and then I just have to remember to move it back when we're done, because I just like to keep things separate. But anyways, I put those things I showed you earlier, the progress monitoring, my binder with all of our plans and everything in it, right here next to the phone, and then all of my drawers that I'm going to be using and the wipes right there. And then I put my associate stuff here. I figured it was nice that she has a table for herself and a chair, which, man, I need to find, I don't have this for my associates. There were 4 extra ones back here, so that's nice. I might be asking about that for my classroom for this year. But anyways, here's where I set up her stuff. It doesn't look the greatest right now, but here's where the student will work. And since that's going to change out all the time, I don't want all the student stuff there permanently, because they're going to get distracted by what's there. And especially if it's not theirs, I don't want them touching it. So let's see. This is just a random coloring box and stuff that doesn't really go very well, but these are her things, the plans I left for her, and hand sanitizer and Kleenex, because I know she's gonna want it. And then behind this nice little corner, I put the food reinforcements, edible reinforcements, because I don't want kids getting to it unnecessarily, and the empty buckets. And then over here, I just stored the something different options, reward buckets for the different students, and break options. These, I don't know what I'm doing with yet. They might have to go behind here where kids can't get to them if it's not their turn. I don't want them grabbing. Okay, let's start going through this box here. Got some math manipulatives. This is so in the way. This is a number line, Unifix cubes, things for counting, 1-to-1 counting, dinosaurs and milk duds, fish. I brought some supplies that are probably gonna sit back here behind me till we need them. More supplies till we need them. That's not how I store things in my classroom. I have a beautiful acrylic turntable, round partitioned turntable from Container Store that my cousin got me and I love. But yeah, that's in my classroom. I didn't bring it here. I just bought them in those easily shareable and movable containers. Okay, these are all the books I'm going to use for social skills. So we are going to, when I'm doing my instruction with them, I'm going to do a new book every day. I've got, it's only 4 weeks, 4 days a week for 4 weeks. Do the math, that's 16 days. I've got more than 16 books here, but I'm going to do this as our social skills instruction, read this, and we'll reinforce this. And then the associate will also be reinforcing with their individualized social stories. I gotta figure out where I'm putting that. Brought some whiteboards, counters, more counters, dice. Oh, this is for Unifix cubes for counting as well. Flashcards for subitizing emotion activities, justify, or my associate, they're easy, want to do stuff. Deck of cards, because and more counting flashcards. And this is what I was talking about with all of the thematic books. I feel like it might just be best if I keep this in this bucket, because I just mentally don't want my stuff to get mixed up with the other teacher's stuff or be confused about whose is whose, leaving stuff where, being other people's stuff. So she's got some open shelving over here, but I don't want to use it. I want to leave it the way it is. So you know what, for this month I might just be pulling stuff out of this cardboard box back here, which is fine. But I have them labeled in thematic units. So the transportation unit and then all of the crafts that I got printed out and planned go with the different vehicles that are in the transportation. Same thing for family. Fall is the next one. Some animals. Yeah, so I've got more than needed though. So if we just need, I mean, it's always better to have more than you need, because somebody gets through something really quickly, then you've got extra. It's easier to have more prepared and not use it than to be scrambling to fill your time. So my thematic units of books are going to be back here behind me, bothering my OCD a little bit that this is how this is going to be stored. But I don't, like I said, I don't want to like get into somebody else's stuff. And I'm glad, honestly, that she did that, because it's a good sign for everybody, like, not your stuff, leave it alone. But I honestly don't know. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. It's just gonna have to be the way it is. I need to figure out where I want to put all these books too, because these are the social skills books that we're gonna go through. Okay, so I could put them on the top of her things. This. I could put these right here, but this is her set of stuff, and so, not that I'm not gonna know, like, this is mine and this is yours, but it's just gonna help for packing up wise if I keep all my stuff together and not even next to hers, even though it's not like I'm in her stuff, I'm just setting it on top of her pile. But maybe I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna move her stuff. All right, pause. Okay, I just moved her stuff over. I'm gonna have to remember to move it back, but that's fine. That's what that looks like now. Okay, these two shelves are open, and that honestly would be a good place to put these things that I'm working with. So I might find some tape or things to just block off those two buckets, so that, what am I saying? Those two cubbies, so that we know it's not ours and no one gets in there.
It's the start of the night and I'm waiting to call you. It's knocking on doors in the dark, I've been walking out. Been lit up on the news now.
I hate the way that this does not, like, it's not in a bucket. It's just all thrown in there. So I think what I'm going to do is go back to my classroom and get a bucket to put them in, because Lord knows I've got plenty of containers, and then they can be stored in there. This is fine. Everything else is fine. I'll deal with it. If I can find something good to store those books in, I'll get that too for my classroom. But I'm just gonna go back and get a few more containers to organize these things. Let's see what's in here now. These, because they're not for like my own student and they're not going back to me, I'm not as particular about how they're going to be organized and stored. I've got probably math, counting, it looks like, one-to-one counting. Reinforcement chart, communication binder, social story binder, charger for the iPad, more, sorting and organizing by color or size. Okay, so sorting and classification, cool, and one-to-one counting, that works for. Books with sentence frames to assess the writing. I know this student has a routine of having a lot of mastered activities and then something new and then more mastered activities. That's really what a lot of these are. And the iPad is right here. Plug in, we sure do. That's another thing I need to grab from my classroom is a couple of my students' iPads. Okay. Look at the, oh, I'm not even showing you the right side. So this is the plug-in I need to charge it. That's what it came with. Doesn't match. Guess this student is gonna need, I'm gonna need to grab a couple extra chargers from my room as well. CBC, work. This, I mean, I'll use this for him because these are his familiar materials, but this is basically what I have printed for UFly as well. CBC worksheets. This is probably going to be stuff that I have the associate do with him to reinforce what I'm doing. Nice letterboard. More work. Oh wait, here's another iPad. This one goes with this charger. Why are there two iPads though? And this one doesn't have a cover. Okay. Confusing. Mastered work. So, okay, so she can go through that. More sight words. Reading. So these are nice activities to reinforce what we're teaching, but this isn't really, like, there's no scope and sequence in this that you would be using for instruction. So I think a lot of what's in this bucket I'm going to go through with my associate and work with her on how to use these materials and use them as reinforcement activities, because that's what she's doing with them. I'm doing the direct instruction in the new material, and she's reinforcing the concepts with activities on her end. So, okay. I'm just gonna get right here for now. Okay, so really everything is put away in here. Now I need to get a couple more containers, organizers from my room for the books and math manipulatives in here that we're using. And I need to go and get my students' iPads that are locked away in the cabinets in my classroom. So those two things I need to go and get. But I think what I need to do now is honestly just like pull up my lesson plans and go through my lesson plans and make sure I'm ready to go for Monday and I know what's happening. I know I've got all of my associate stuff really organized, but I just need to go through the lesson plans again myself because it's been over a month since I wrote them and organized all this stuff. So I need to make sure I know what I'm doing, and because the teachers didn't send any of their students reinforcement systems, one teacher sent over the communication binder, but no one else has reinforcement systems here. So I need to get that figured out. I didn't send Velcro over either though, so I need, okay, I'm gonna make a list for myself. I didn't bring any post-it notes either, so what can I write on? I'm back. I need to bring plus I didn't bring any pens or pencils for myself, so pens,
pencils for me and my associate. Need to get 2 containers, 1 for mathematic books, 1 for math manipulatives. I need Velcro. I need my extra reinforcement system pieces. I need iPads and chargers for these 2 of my students.
what else did I say? I guess I can go back and watch this clip because that's all I have written down right now. I think that's all I need. Okay, so I'm gonna go back through, read my lesson plans, get slides ready for myself, and read through BIPs and make sure I know what their reinforcement systems are so that I have things for them because they didn't get sent over. And then I have a chiro appointment. It's like 3:25 right now. I have a chiro appointment at 4:15, which is really close to my school. So I will stay here and work on that till then, go to my chiro appointment, go to my school and grab the stuff from this list that I need to grab, and then probably run it back here before I have dinner plans at 6. So that's our plan.
Come on, come with me. We're sipping on your water. We're chilling, cabana. Could roll like your nana. Could play ya, come with you. We're singing like the morning. Break your heart in silence. The sun's out, so you gotta. It's the start of the night, and I'm waiting to call you. It's knocking on doors in the dark. I've been walking out. Been laid up on the news, now you're lying. The look up on your face, now you're smiling. Stay up in my mind. Stay up in my mind.
I think I have my stuff basically set up. I grabbed a couple of books that I needed and made sure my associate had the one she needed for the thematic unit first day. I still have not read through everybody's BIPs. I just made my PowerPoint for the first day, basic like plans, and I'll make a copy of it and take names out of it so I can show you what that looks like too. But I need to now take my checklist, the stuff I need to grab, go to the bathroom quick, and then head over to my chiro appointment. So got my checklist. I will, bathroom, chiro, grab my stuff, and then come back here and do a final run through of everything before Monday comes next week. It is absolutely gross out. Yuck. Okay, so I just finished chiro and we are, surprise, in our tornado watch right now. So my friends want to reschedule our dinner date for tonight, which is fine. It's not going to be as convenient as tonight would have been because our son will be back from camp when they want to reschedule for Friday. And that was what was convenient about tonight, was that neither of us had to worry about who was watching our son, or, it was just easy for us to both go. And Chris made plans with his friends, so he's still gonna go and do that. They're not as worried about the weather, but my friends want to reschedule. So no dinner plans, chiro's done. And honestly, if I try to go into my school right now, I actually did drive over to my school parking lot because I was like a minute away. But as I'm sitting here, there's no one else here, which means I'm gonna have to put my code in to undo the alarms and then walk through a dark school and turn lights on and make sure it all gets turned off, and then make sure I reset the alarms for the night, which I hate doing. It just gives me anxiety that I'm gonna mess it up, truthfully, until this year we got a new head janitor. But prior to that, I would just always text our head janitor and he would set the alarms for me from my phone. So I didn't even really do anything. Like, I theoretically know how to do it, but I've never actually had to do it myself because I've just always avoided coming when I was going to have to mess with the alarms. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for this vlog. I showed you what the classroom looks like right now. I do need to, before Monday, come to my school when I know someone else is here so that I don't have to mess with the alarms, because it's 5 o'clock right now. But I will take that checklist in and just make sure that I get those last few things that I need. But I grabbed my computer, so I have that, and I can finish prepping anything on those slideshows that I need to. So that's going to be it for the setup vlog. Thank you for watching. Thank you for making it this far. Let me know if you have any questions about things that I am doing or implementing, or if you've taught ESY before, any advice or tips that you have, because I have never actually done ESY before. I've taught summer school before, obviously. I've been teaching for 10 years, so I've taught special education, but I've never specifically done this program for ESY. So let me know if you have any tips or any questions. I will do another video next week just walking you through week of my life teaching ESY and how the plans go and what changes and whatnot. But yeah, I'm gonna close out the vlog here, and thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.
The moment's coming soon, on at the end of the day.